Welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of the Biblical Flat Earth. Today I want to talk about the shape of the earth, the foundations of the earth, and the four corners of the earth as discussed in the Bible. Let's start with Isaiah chapter 40 and jump on down to verse 22. It's he that sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens as a curtain, and spreads them out as a tent to dwell in. Okay, before I even get into the circle, here we have he stretches out the heavens. Remember, he called the firmament heaven? He stretches that out like a curtain. He spreads it out like a tent to dwell in. That's a pretty cool description of the dome firmament that sits above us. Isn't that cool? Okay, moving on to the circle of the earth. There it is, plain as day. I don't know how you argue with this one. I do know the most common rebuttal I'm going to get is that the word translated into circle in the original language, it could have been translated as either sphere or circle. And therefore, it should be sphere, right? Because, well, that's what we're told when we're children. We got the globe in the classroom. No, my friend, you've got to let the Bible shape the way you see the world and not let the way you see the world shape how you read the Bible, okay? Circle of the earth. I don't know what else to say, man. It's pretty simple. Let's move on to the four corners of the earth. And we're going to be looking in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12. So if I skip back here, 11 verse 12, here we go. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah, and from the four corners of the earth. Okay? Key terminology here, four corners of the earth. Before I get into that, let's skip on forward to the book of Revelation. All right. In chapter 7, John sees these things. After these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth. That's interesting. Okay, we're being told that John's literally seeing four corners to the earth. All right, and four angels standing on them. I don't know about you, but I can't for the life of me imagine that John's looking at the globe in his vision and seeing angels standing on a ball, and then he just describes the whole scene as four corners. That doesn't make sense, okay? So my next kind of step here leading you along is if the Bible says that the earth has corners, but we say that the earth is a circle, what comes to my mind is that we've got a circle kind of sitting on something like maybe a table, four legs, I don't know. Let's see. If we jump to Psalm 102:25, we might just find out what's being said here. Wow, that was pretty good. Psalm 102:25. Of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. There we have a funny expression, the foundations of the earth. Now I'm going to get my phone out here, go onto my Bible app, and I'm going to search for the expression foundations of the earth. Okay, now you can do this too. If you've got a phone with a Bible app, it's a really handy tool. You can search for just foundation and earth. And these expressions come up, these verses will come up with those two words in them. All right, so we got foundations of the earth, foundation of the earth, foundations of the earth, that's the one we just looked at. Foundations of the earth, it shall come to pass. Foundations of the earth, look at that. Foundations of the earth. Okay, so there's a few different ways you can look at this expression. One of them, and it's true, when the Bible says foundations of the earth, sometimes it's referring to, in the way of time, the creation of the world, okay? But in other ways, it's very clearly talking about the solid foundations of the earth. This is, for example, what the four corners would be set upon, all right? If you believe that the earth is a ball soaring through space at thousands and thousands of miles an hour, you've got to look the Bible in the eye here and say, no, you're wrong, I disagree. Okay, the Bible here, it's very clear. It says that there are foundations of the earth. If there are foundations to a circle earth, as described in the Bible, can you still believe that the earth is a globe and that it's flying through space without resting on anything? These are things you got to ask yourself. If you're debating in your mind whether you want to believe the earth is flat or if the earth is a ball, These are things to consider. All right? See you next time.